Battletech enthusiasts. This is another installation of my tabletop painting, strategy, tactics, etc. series. Now consider which would you rather have. A Steiner Scout Squad, which is 4 atlases, which is roughly a little less than 8,000 points. You can still fit in a warrior or something like that, but since this is a scout squad after all, Steiner sees no need to include a warrior or any of the scouts, and you really need to be self-sufficient. And that is your side. Now consider the other option here. You have an LRM fortress made up of roughly 8,000 points, battle value 2 of vehicles. You've got 4 Demolishers, and 4 LRM Carriers. That's to make up 2 LRM fortresses of 2 LRM Carriers and 2 Demolishers each. You can group them together all at once, or you can make 2 groups, half strength each, plus a warrior helicopter. Now, the warrior helicopter can technically just sit out of range of any LRM containing mech or vehicle and just pepper it with AC2s until it wins. So we're going to disable that and not allow that. And instead, we will now consider just the Demolishers and the LRM Carriers. And this is your option. Again, this is equivalent to what I would consider 2 LRM fortresses, that is, 2 sets of 2 LRM Carriers guarded by 2 sets of Demolishers, of 2 Demolishers each. Or you could just lump them all together into one giant pile if you like. Either way is fine. Now we're going to consider the spec sheets here of the Atlas and of the LRM Carriers and Demolishers. And we can see that the Demolishers are obviously very heavily armored. Also, here's the warrior helicopter. Now, obviously, there's a very large number of combinations and permutations as to what could actually happen in the battle. Even if you have a featureless infinite 2-dimensional plane, or even if you choose to simplify things and just have 4 1D lines where each Atlas takes 1 line and each Demolisher is in front of 1 LRM Carrier and they take another line, and there's 4 parallel lines, and a victor in a line doesn't switch to another line as a target until after it has destroyed its line. So we could analyze it that way, but we will actually have to. We can also consider the cases where you have focus fire versus diffuse fire. So if we look at all the combinations of focus and diffuse fire and analyze them carefully, we can figure out how those would play out. Then if you have every combination of focus and diffuse fire, those are like the corner cases. For example, if you have all the Atlases focus firing on the Demolishers, and the Demolishers are diffuse firing, and the LRM Carriers are diffuse firing on the 4 Atlases, then that's one combination. Another combination would be double focus fire, where all the Atlases fire on one single Demolisher, and all the Demolishers and LRM Carriers fire on one single Atlas. That is both sides focus fire. And then there's of course the case of the diffuse fire, where everyone just ticks their own target and fights somewhat independently. Or then you just have the Demolishers focus fire on one Atlas, Atlases to focus fire on one Demolisher, etc. But if you cover all 4 corner cases, that is, Atlases focus on Demolishers, Demolishers diffuse on Atlases, Atlases focus on Demolishers, Demolishers focus on Atlases, or Atlases diffuse on Demolishers, Demolishers focus on Atlases, or all Atlases and Demolishers are diffuse firing on each other. If you cover those cases, then any combination of pairings in the battle will be covered by those extreme cases, because usually if you were to just pair two demolishers against one atlas and the other two demolishers against another atlas, instead of all focus firing, then the results of that battle would be somewhere in between the diffuse fire case and the concentrated focus fire case. So if you look at all four of these cases and then get the same results with the same victor, then you're likely that no matter what combinations of focus fire and diffuse fire there occur, there will be that same victor. So that's how we will analyze this. Now, there's quite a lot still that could happen. For example, the atlases could just LRM bombard at distance, etc., and knock out LRM carriers or something. Or the LRM carriers could stay out of the range and the demolishers charge in, or other events could occur. But we're going to skip that analysis for now and do that analysis later. So I have now already studied the results of this battle and have a result. However, I want people to think about it and come up with their own combinations and see if people can guess who the winner is going to be. Now, I already know the answer somewhat, and so I'm going to leave this as a cliffhanger for the year. And I promise I will post the solution sometime in the year 2021. Thank you. Also, here's a little sneak peek into a secret project that I've been working on. This is a aerotech that should have been made, but never was. It's the Phoenix Hawk. The Phoenix Hawk in aerospace mode. You can get it in air mech mode or in mech mode, but the aerotech mode was never made. So I've decided to go ahead and try to sculpt one, craft it out of various resin castings, and I'm going to try to construct it.